You asked for me?
I called you here for a special mission. We're putting together an elite task force. A group of people who will make a group of people and find that group of people individually and create that group of people.
Okay, what is this for?
Create the ultimate suck.
No, you're not listening to me. He can't figure out how to transform the Devastator. That thing gives me a headache.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Scrapmetal and Hightower can combine. What does it mean?
You bastards.
My God, I can't see.
We're in Minecraft.
His medication has run out, and he's hallucinating.
I'm gonna go get some food, like cows and chicken.
Do you need something high-tech? Devastator deck.
My God, I can't see.
The red one or the yellow one? Which one do I choose?
Are you the keeper of the sacred jewel?
No. Well then, sorry to interrupt.
Watch out, you're gonna hit the Statue of Liberty!
He hasn't even left the parking lot yet.
Of course I can hack the Mona Lisa.
Jetfire, we need your help.
Hey Max, why do we need this?
Because we need someone who eats sand.
Why?
I'm tired of seeing uneaten sand! See?
Hey, somebody drop this.
Hey, Mix.
You have Uno!
What have you done?
Oh, hello. Oh, there he is. Devastator is the giant menacing titan of the Decepticons, so massive that his entire body had to come together from multiple construction vehicles as a disguise. It's sort of debated whether he's his own entity or made from the Constructicons, as characters such as Longhaul and Scrapper were clearly their own. Despite this, since his appearance in Revenge of the Fallen, people wanted a proper combiner from the separate robots, and the only release of that was a Legends class set. A Devastator was released but would only combine from the vehicles, likely because they were working on so much at the same time it would be too much. The Studio Series line would come sometime later, bringing back live-action movie characters, but even then, when Hasbro announced they were releasing a full Devastator made from at least 8 figures, I think everyone was surprised. Special thanks to 01 Transfan and TFA 1024 for sending some of the figures. Taking a look at the group, the Mighty Combiner needs 8 Constructicons to be built. And say what you want about Michael Bay's franchise and how it distances from the original character designs, but at least they're construction vehicles. Although if they weren't, the name Constructicons wouldn't make sense. Still, this is the earliest full-size team to be realized in live action, and I'm glad we get to see these in particular. I'm just remembering playing with my Tonkas in the sandbox with bulldozers, excavators, and dump trucks. These are certainly unified, but probably carry their own purpose. Because I've already reviewed them separately, I will mostly focus on the group, but I do have a playlist if you want to hear more. Say what you want about the different colors, but if you think about it, Longhaul's green is a hint of the original, the red and yellows refer to Generation 2, and even Mixmaster being all grey works since he's the head anyways. I do need to bring up that this isn't the box set that includes Skipjack. Why didn't I buy that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's because by the time they announced it, I already had half the team. Credit to their Link gimmick that now we have certain characters in physical form that never even made it to film. Hightower, Overload, somehow Scrapper finally got a toy. They even brought in Skipjack, who was pretty much a typo just for an accurate leg or accurate guy. Some of their functions are left out. You can't dump stuff with Longhaul unless you do a wheelie, but a whole group of construction vehicles can be enjoyable regardless. In robot mode, they continue to be a unified group. They're all messed up Decepticons, like the Bayverse had a drawing stream and they just designed whatever within the idea of Bayverse slapped with construction vehicle parts in every corner. And that's not far from the truth, considering some of these are based on unrealized concepts to complete the eventual combiner. Typical Decepticon insect faces with Longhaul, the earliest design, keeping some idea of an original Constructicon. With a sea of jagged bits, the group kind of blends together. I just put Hightower, Scrapmetal, Skipjack, and Scrapper together together and I don't know what this is anymore. Oh wait, no, this is where the Chimera rammed an ambulance. But I like how it gave him an opportunity to play with shapes. Examples include Longhaul's pretty bulky, Overload's multi-arms, Scavenger looks like a Harley Davidson, Scrapper's hands, 2 Rampage figures who could be bouncers at a bar, both for kicking out people and literally being pogo stick people, and Hightower's, all of this. I think the reason they come together is because they have a design language, like you can't make Rampage look like Scourge or Jazz, but it makes the gang that much more dangerous considering it's a bunch of guys who have different talents and abilities mashed together, with the Tracer, Drifter, the Snake, the Bully— oh no, that's the rival gang. Jeez, I feel bad for Scrapmetal, but it does beg the question, since his parts were used for Megatron, is he a Constructicon now? Sure, why not? Felt like we were leaving someone out anyways. They all have their flaws, but this whole setup was a pretty big project in the scheme of things. A full Devastator team, never realized characters, a Voyager Scrapper, an ultimate scavenger hunt prize of the Studio Series line, a leader scavenger, a simplified Mixmaster, separate guys able to combine like what people wanted, a Voyager Scrapper! I will give it credit that their individual figures work so well on their own, even if their purpose is to become part of a combiner and keeping decent posability. I respect what they did, but of course, with every component, we need to combine these and check out Devastator. Combination form. There's no doubt that Devastator is an incredibly intimidating titan, and an ugly one at that. It's like a mechanized brute from the 2010 film The Troll Hunter. I've been told never to judge a person by its looks, but I'm pretty certain this is a demon. Looking at this, you can see why people are upset. Not just that the face looks like a scab, but how messy it is compared to his original look. This may not seem like the original Devastator, but it does pick up the namesake because, in a sense, it does devastate. Aside from that, when they announced this, they showed a really well-made presentation prototype with placeholder components to fill the model. I knew it wouldn't turn out to be this, but it's hard not to think of how far off it is, especially since they still used it for the box art. Absolute tease. No low-hanging fruit, but I guess we can censor the spike. This is just storage for Rampage's base, which, if you've noticed, is not the correct color. They had to do this for an accurate Rampage, but it feels awkward with the red feeding through to one limb. Don't worry, Hasbro made their own upgrade kit and called it Skipjack, and yes, the toes are backwards because of a messed up joint that snapped. Anyways, just a simple swap, and that's way better. I'd rather have 2 mismatched socks over a naked foot. Oh, and before anyone nitpicks the configuration, like, oh, this little thing is a little off, oh, you're supposed to move that hinge. I've seen so many stock images and other people have certain parts oriented differently. For example, the configuration of Overload's feet. Honestly, I don't think there's a wrong answer. This is like a controlled explosion, something beautiful in the chaos, but I feel we need to go through the cons. The Decepticons. No! The Constructicons. This is a massive titan that needs to be extremely sturdy. So why is the entire upper body supported by a sliding slot and mushroom joint that wobbles? I don't trust the shoulders with the stress marks on mine. And with the weight of it all, adjusting the feet is tricky to avoid the figure from falling. Kinda thankful he doesn't have knee joints. Wait, shouldn't this be on all fours? Well, why do that when you can really get the sheer size of him? Compared to the original Devastator, sure he's big, but he's not that fun to transform together. With the original, sometimes simpler is more relaxing. Still, getting this thing together is something to take pride in. It's like doing a marathon for the first time. You kind of feel disgusting, but you take pride in it. Not only for Hasbro's sake, but getting all the parts and putting it all together. With it, we get characters we never had at this scale. And even though the one arm seems too long compared to the other arm, I like how it takes 2 here to represent the back half smashing down like the movie. I honestly thought the legs would be distracting acting, but no, probably because of all the heads on display. Imagine these poor people screaming for help as they get pulled and twisted to form this unholy beast. Hope they get good dental. Someone has eyes on the back of their head. They did slap the hood of Mixmaster on top, but I dig the tires of Scavenger repurposed into the back of the swirling vortex of terror. I do like how Mixmaster's torso forms components on the throat. I did assume the head was too small and jets forward, but looking back, I think this is correct. There's a vortex cylinder detailed piece that plugs over top, and with the pipes up, I noticed with very tiny notches behind it that it actually fits into the tabs and does stay in place. You ever just pop the head off and put it on other figures? Fortress Maximus, Unicron, Optimus. It's funny. He certainly is a looker, though. It's like a reverse Neil Patrick Harris in How I Met Your Mother. I'm almost certain Unicron picked this out of his teeth, but I like that they properly painted it with red, gave it the multi-eyes, and while the entire vortex doesn't expand, the teeth can move separate from the jaw. Did someone say articulation? Jaw opens, teeth moves, shoulders forward and back, up and down, rotation below, another rotation, elbow bends, various finger joints, hips out and in, forward and back, out and in again, rotation below, feet forward and back and tilt. Posability feels underwhelming. There's no head joint, no knees, and even with the more decent joints, the weight is hard to handle. At least he has strong hips, but the arms needed to be stronger. They're not weak, they're just not enough to hold. The third-party model does look better, of course, but even that dealt with inaccuracies and complications. At least it got Longhaul's toes right, and before you ask, no, I don't plan to get the upgrade kit, but I won't argue it does help to a degree. It's a lot to take in for a pile of 8 figures, 9 if you include Skipjack, 10 with Bone Crusher if he can be the hype man. Funny enough, you can actually add typical weapons thanks to the porthole and Scrapmetal, but good luck finding something that isn't goofy. However, Core Class Megatron's gun mode is just... it's just right. Wait, Scrapmetal's lunch tray actually helping the yellow blend into the leg? So it does have purpose? It's hard to believe we have Devastator now. Studio Series has come a long way, and this put Revenge of the Fallen on the map with Optimus Prime, Megatron, Soundwave, Starscream, Jolt, Sideswipe, Grindor, Jetfire, and yet the title character got skipped for whatever reason. I know this isn't meant to be G1, but even then, it's not the original Devastator. So Devastator isn't gonna win over anyone who has a certain distaste for the base style, and I don't blame them. Unless you got the box set, this was a lot to find, and distribution in stores wasn't doing the line any favors. It might seem like I'm calling a mess an accomplishment, but this was a lot to design. It was ambitious, and there is no doubt that this beast certainly makes up for the Decepticon army. Special thanks to TFA1024 and 01 Transfan for helping me get this. It's a lot of work to get a vacuum. We're putting together an elite task force.
I'm gonna go get some food, like some cows and chickens. I don't know, I'm hungry. Is this funny?
Watch out, you're gonna hit the Statue of Liberty!
We haven't even left the parking lot yet.
This is gonna be funny.
Light.